Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Before going toward our session, I want to start with a piece of information. That is, visual info is processed 60 times faster. We remember 80% of what we see and 20% of what we read, and just even 10% of what we hear. Infographics are 30 times more likely to be read. It's all about the visual structure and story. Today, we are here to know about how we can bring our content to life. This is the one question. In the end of this session, we will get the answer of this question. So before start our journey, I want to tell you today you will learn something which is related to your content life. So let's start our journey. Welcome everyone. This is a session series presented by the Deanship of eLearning and IT, and I am a member of Deanship of eLearning and IT, myself Rima Shaheen. Today's topic is animated infographic. Animated infographics, we are having a movement, whether they are GIFs or videos. They have become some of the most shared content on any kind of media. So what makes them so compelling to consume? Let's take a close look at some great examples that can inspire your next animated infographic design. I know most of you are familiar with these terminologies, the animation, the infographics, the graphics, but in the end of this session, you will be able to say that today you learned something new, inshallah. So now next, let's start our today's topic, that is animated infographic. What is the meaning of animated infographic? That is actually, let's start to know about the actual definition. An animated infographic is a way of visualizing information using a combination of images, illustration, charts, graphs, and text. These are the main assets of any of the infographic, and other elements that are animated to add movement. This is our second step. Firstly, we have some assets to create one infographic. If we are just talking about the word infographic, what is actually mean? The information which is represent with the graphics. So what are the assets of infographics? That is some of the images, some of the illustrations, some of the charts, maps, graphs, some informative text. That would be the main or core asset for the infographic. Now, today we are talking about something animation, some movement in our text. So if we want to add some animation, that means we want to put some life in our content. In the last year session, we have one session that is a static infographic. We learned how we can design a static infographic with the sum piece of information. What is the purpose of infographic? That is we have one big content and we want to represent in a very small way and in a very simpler way, but we want to deliver a complete message. So what we do? So this is a most common use of infographics. If I read this quote, what is mean? That is by enhancing your image with motion, it will naturally draw the attention of the human eye. This is a very clear quotation that you will be able to see what you see, you get more from that. So this is over the last 5 years, infographics have become heavily relied upon as a device to make complex information acceptable. But what was once a mostly static form of content has evolved dramatically to include animation and animated elements that help make idea more easily interpretable and engaging. Before we have some piece of information, we draw some slides and some that kind of that stuff, but after that we start to making the information more attractive. Why we do that? Actually, if I say in a very simple words, now this is a time to learn from the screen. Everything is online, the lectures are online, we are teaching online, and our students are learning from the screen. So your screen must be attractive, interactive, and effective. Why we are doing these struggles? We are doing these struggles to make our content more effective for the students, to grab them intentions and grab their interest toward the learning, because there is a lot difference between the offline study and the online study. So this all effort is for making your content more good for the students. And these training session series is also a aim to utilize different tools, make you guys familiar to the e-learning tools. So our aim or our main purpose of these all training sessions are to make you guys able to and polish your skills toward the e-learning and make you more familiar to the computer and the e-learning tools. So the beauty of infographic has always been their shareability, whether there are GIFs or videos. Animated and infographics are visual piece of content that are easy to consume and easily linked to. So this is actual core beauty of infographic, that it is very easy to link to and very easy to express your content or express your message. If you see these all above images, these are example of static infographics. What you are seeing on it, there is some graphs, some information, some statistics are available here to present your content. But now what? This is a boring, you can say, a simple PowerPoint presentation or simple infographic, static infographic is now it will not work more effectively. I'm not saying that this is not usable or this is not a good idea, but now it's a time to get more effective things and more effective ways to present your content in a very productive way. So when infographic first gained serious interaction online, they started as static illustration. Firstly, we start as a static illustration to present our content with some of the static graphs, some of the static statistics, information, and then some of piece of textual information we put on it, and we want to present our content with some piece of information which is just a one banner, you can say. They would be often take the form of extreme long images you would need to scroll through, but they had a certain charm to them. Some of the shapes, colors, illustrations, and easy to follow structure are big reason why static infographic work. All that scrolling was exactly what made the experience enjoyable. It was all about journey. So before we doing all these things, we put the some of the static images to present our information to make them some effective or some interesting for the users. But now what is the next? Today online still images don't do as well as the animated ones. So if you have already invested static infographic for your content and you may want to consider adding animation to them and give them a new life, so yes, you are on a right place. Today you will learn how you can bring your content to life. So let's move toward the next thing. So I discussed some of the facts and figures and some of the definitions about the graphics, some infographics, and now we are going towards the animated infographics. Before the implementation, I want to express all the features, all the styles of animated graphics, infographics. So because we have to know about what is the actually mean, what, how many styles we have, how I will be able to implement effectively. So now we are going to see that styles of animated infographic, how many styles we have. Please off your mic. Thank you. So now we are going to start the styles of animated infographic. The first one is maps animated infographic. If you see in this picture, we have some of the graphs which is representing the sum of the population or some think about the people. So this is called the animated maps, which is using in the infographic. This is a part of one infographic. For data linked to the geographical location, if you have some scenario in which we use some location or some geographical location, so you use the map to visualize it is the most effective method. You will use the sum of the maps to visualize your data. This is all depend on your scenario, on your target work, what you want to represent. So you, if you want to represent something which is related to a population or location or something like that, then you will be use the maps animated infographic. That one is the first one style, you can say. Let's move toward the next one. The second one is process or how to. In our work, in even in a lecture, in even in a course content, we have many of the scenarios where we have some process, where we have some steps from, for example, I have 7 steps, 10 steps. I want to represent in a one piece of information. I don't want to give them a one or 2 or 3 pages to represent them as something information, but I want a one quick way or a simple way to present. So this is a best way to present your information. It will be very eye catching for the viewer, and they will get very fastly what the actually the meaning. This is mostly used for the awareness. So you some awareness purpose, if you want to represent something. So this is called a process, mean you want to show some of the process and something which is how to use, how to do some scenarios like this. So you will use this kind of infographic style. See, here is our some steps like 1 2 3 until 7. We have different steps, and every step have a sum of piece of information. That one is animated picture and some of the text, so which is representing the complete information. So step by step you can deliver your message very easily. This one is very interesting style, that is exploded view. What is the meaning of exploded view? Each component of a product is separated in the order of assembly to get to the core of how it works. It will be represent you every part or every component of a product and determine what is actually the mean of this component and what is the actually the work of this component. So if you see this picture, so this is every part which is separately, and it's showing you a one complete picture that how many components it have and what is the actually the name of these components, and it's a complete information. And it's very effective to present your idea, that it's about this how speakers make sound. So this is a main title. We want to represent that how speakers make sound. So this is exploded view animated infographic, that you separated every part, every component of a product, and you want to represent in this way. Let's move toward the next style. Comparison animated infographic. This is a more closer to the for the teachers, because most of scenarios are related to the comparison. And if you want to, we have a different scenarios, like we have a two-sided scenarios, and we want to present some comparison, and we want to give the some survey or pool to the students, and we want to tell them features of one side and also the feature of the second side. So you can use this comparison animated infographic. This is just example, and you can see here is a very attractive way to represent one comparison statistics. The next one is interactive animated infographic. What is the meaning of interactive animated infographic? If you see in a picture, if you want to go any specific component of that infographic, so you can just easily click and you will be able to see the information. So what does it mean? The viewer can interact with the animated infographic by clicking on various components for a closer look or to influence the content in some way. So in this way you can create a one interactive infographic very easily. You can make the sections, and you can put all of your information, and user just click and grab the information to closer and very clearly. Next style is that is a data visualization animated infographic. What does it mean? We want to visualize our data, so in that information can be easily communicated with the Venn diagram, pie, or the bar charts, or the sum of the line graphs. You can use these kind of graphs, and you can represent your data visualization very easily. And if you are seeing, if I click on any of the Venn diagrams, it will be appear like this, so you can see the information very closely. So this is one of the very attractive way to represent your information. The next one is that is kinetic typography animated infographic. That is for infographic video especially. Animated moving text is a great way to convey more abstract information. If you want to show some of the abstract information, so this is the best way to represent that a moving of a text or an object very good, and it is mostly used in a video animated infographic. So that one is our timeline animated infographic. What does it mean? If you want to represent something that evolved over a certain time period, just like you are seeing in this example, that I have a different months and I want to represent it in a graph, so I use this attractive way to represent my message and my what I want to represent. So this way you can represent by, but this style is called the timeline animated infographic. Okay, now I will move toward the there is a one question that is how we can publish these animated infographics on a website, uploading them. Okay, you will get this answer. Just have some patience. I'm just going step by step. In the end we will do a one implementation which will be very helpful for you all, because you all are related to the teaching department. So I consider that I just make a focus on which is related to your lectures and your courses. In the end we will implement, inshallah, and that will be very useful for you all. So why I'm explaining all these things, because I want to spread all the knowledge about the animated infographic, and if you want to go beyond your lecture or course, you can use the other parts also, and you can practice it. Okay, no problem. Now let's move toward the next one, that is hierarchy animated infographic. Okay, if you see there is a one hierarchy. We start with the one main part, and then there is a branches. So how we can represent it. It is a very attractive way to represent your any of the graph, or if you want to make any hierarchy, if you want to show any scenario which is related to the hierarchy, so you can use this kind or this style of animated infographic. Various components making up a single subject are arranged in order to of importance, usually using a hierarchical pyramid. So we use some hierarchical pyramid to represent our information if it's related to some kind of scenario which is related to the some hierarchy or tree or something like that. So, animated infographic can be made of multiple reasons, such as product or service explanation, education, recruitments, corporate videos, or even just for a pure entertainment. I just repeat this sentence again because I just want to tell you we are here to not just focus with the one narrow line. We are here to give you a one big picture, and after that you are going toward any of the aspects and you just go and practice. It will be helpful for you not only with your course, with your lecture, with your university work. It will be helpful for your for future, inshallah, because this is a time to e-learn. If I say in the very simple way, this is the time of e-learning, and many of you are related to some of math department and the other departments which is not much related to the computer familiar. So our purpose is to make you guys to give a big picture, and then you can do some of the practice, and if you want to go beyond the box, so you can go very easily with this information. Our purpose is here just to give you a some all points, and then you will be go and practice, and then you will get more things, inshallah. So here is a one more quote, that is a number have an important story to tell, but it depends on you to give it a voice. So that it's not mean nobody have a content, nobody have a knowledge. Everybody have a knowledge and everybody have a content, but there is a one specific skill or one way to present your knowledge or present your content in an effective way. So I already quote that why we are doing all these efforts, because this is a time of screen learning. So we want to make our screen more attractive, more interesting for the viewers, for the students. So that's why we are doing all these things, and we are giving a voice of our content to make and present in a very good and pleasant way. So now this is a time to move towards some of okay okay let me explain it at some slower pace. I think he is not going to understand this. Okay, no problem. Okay, now we are going move toward the animated infographic implementation, that how to make animated infographics. And okay, let me explain one thing. You will be also get the recording if you feel that it's something which is just pass out and you didn't understand. No problem at all, you will get the recording and you can just pause and you can repeat many times, and you will get the point according to your reliability. So now let's move toward the next topic, that is how to make animated infographic. Before going toward the making an infographic, we must have some of the work on it. Okay, now I'm going to work to tell you that how we can make animated infographic. This is a time of implementation. Now I know about the definition, I know about the history, I know all the what is the meaning of this and what is the purpose, how many styles I have. Now it's time I want to present my content to the animated infographic. Now what I do, so this is the next step. Now we are going to determine the purpose and the audience. This is a first step of implementation. For example, you are going to represent some animated video infographic. So for this, you must do some preparation. It does not mean you just open any website, any tool, and you are going to start your work. No, before any work, you have some preparation. That is a prerequisites, you can say. So for these prerequisites, we will start with the determine the purpose and the audience. I want to make a one animated video infographic, but what I have to do, I must know something, that what is the purpose of my video, what will be the audience, because every piece of information will be to the some of the targeted audience. I will make for some of the targeted audience. Like you are a teacher, you will make for the students, for your colleagues, for your department or a deanship, so or represent to the university. So there is some purpose. So I have three questions. That is, what is the purpose behind the video infographic? The second one is, who are going to benefit with my videos? The third one is, what do I want them to do after watching my videos? So these are the questions you must be. Firstly, you have to decide this. These are looking very simpler questions, but it defines the full purpose of making your video. Your video infographic is not just a slice of entertainment. It conveys a lot of meaningful data to the viewers. So this should be keep in your mind that this is not just a piece of entertainment. So you will be represent your message, or you will deliver your message to someone which must be beneficial for them. So your video infographics graphic will be helpful for them with a complete message. So you must, it defines the main mind of the big data and simplifies the process of delivering your message according to the target you define. So it will be very helpful if you will be get the big data and then convert it into a simpler and a simpler way, and in a very small one infographic, and you will represent with a very effective way. Okay, let me explain this with a one example, and then I will be ask you what is the actually purpose and what is the meaning of this heading. You will get what is the actually meaning of this heading. I'm going to show you one sample video. This is just a sampling video to show you, to understand why we get this determine the purpose and the audience. So let's move toward one small example, and let's see what is it actually. So you saw this video. So this is just an example. So this video infographic about the water, so targeted to a common man. So this is a basic purpose, and that give an awareness. So the main purpose is the giving the awareness, and the targeted people is targeted audience is a common man. So this is the purpose of this infographic. So it will be benefit for the all common persons, and it is just awareness message. So the meaning of determine the purpose, and the audience is just like that. And this is an example. So next next step is that is collect data, research, and analyze. After you have collected the data, you must make sure that each piece of information that you have gathered is present in at least two trusted, validated websites. What does it mean? You are going to present something, you must have some data. What is the data? I mentioned some of the assets that were images, some illustrations, some graphs, some maps, or some of the text. So these are the actually data. You will be gathered all the data which is related to your topic. You will be search on Google, of course. You will be search on the Google, but there must be keep one thing in your mind, that you must be search any of piece of information. It must be in two website at least in two website. It must be appear, or it must be some trusty website you get the information. The right information is very important, because you are going to present your information with some of the references, and your references, if it's not valid, so this is not good. So before doing this, you must have some research on it. You must study different websites, on different websites or different data you will collect, and you will be just make sure that this data is accurate. And you will, if you want to put any of the statistics on the on infographics, so that statistics must be referred to as some one. For example, if I get some of the percentage, and it must be some appear in one of the research paper, and that research paper is published in some of the valid journals. So it is very important thing. So I will be, after gathering this data and after some research, I will analyze my data, that is okay, that is legal, that is presenting all my information or message which I want to deliver. So this is one part of if you want to going to make your animated infographic. So let's move toward the next part. Okay, now you are going to narrate it for videos. So if you have to decide before that you want to make an animated infographic, just like with background music, just you saw this example, or if you want to present with some of the voiceover, you can present that with the voiceover, and you can also present it with the just background music. But the more effective and recommended one with the background music, because video infographic are mostly accomplished by a background music rather than a voiceover, because it is more of a visual representation, because we are just talking about the visual representation. So it is more effective with just background music, and there's no voiceover, and your characters, your video is as much powerful to represent all the information without any voice. So this is the main purpose. So but you can also narrate it by
on Sunday.
Please off your mic. Okay, thank you. Let's move toward the next one. Okay, this is a very important part, that is a select the right tool. Now it's time to implement actually. So I have a work, I just homework, I gather all the information and everything. Now I want to move toward the implementation. What I will do, I just choose the best tool and right tool. Here is a sum of the free tools you can use if you want it with us. Just quickly you want to get it, you have a Canva, Infogram, and Adobe Spark, Pick to Chart, Easily, and Visualize.me. These are the some good one tools. So you can use these websites, and you just log in with the free sign up and just pick one template, add it, and you can just use that one for your purpose. And these are all the free websites you can go. And Adobe Spark, you can also use this one. This is very good one. So you can use these points. So I'm giving you a piece of information. You just go and explore these websites, and you will be easily do it. So now move toward the next thing, that is a focus on visuals. I just mentioned some of the assets that are map, graphs, diagram, and charts. What does it mean? Map is related to some of the representation which is related to location. And if I am talking about the graphs, that is a quantitative data, some comparison, a relation between the quantities. For statistical information, if you want to represent some statistical information, you will be find the graphs. And if you want to draw some sequence, some process, or if you want to show some timeline, that is related to the diagram, to demonstrate a process or event or as a timeline, so you can use the diagram. So this is one of the asset of animated infographic. The fourth one is chart. That could be a flow chart or some organizational chart, so to show some statistical information. If you want to make a one flow chart for your course or something, or you can use the charts for this purpose. So these are the main assets, and this is the meaning of these main assets, that what is the actually meaning and how we can use it. So now it's time to implementation. I mentioned some of the website, which is the free websites you can use very easily. Just log in and you just get the template and you can just add it. But I'm going to explain that how we can make an animated infographic with PowerPoint. I'm going a very simpler way, because PowerPoint, everyone is familiar with the PowerPoint, but mostly don't know actually the feature of PowerPoint. In a one PowerPoint, you can create a many things. It's not just for creating your PowerPoint slides. Okay, if it's not about that, it's just if you want to create a slide, you just use the PowerPoint. No, there's a lot more feature we didn't explore about the PowerPoint, and we didn't focus on it. So today I will show you how you can make an animated infographic with the PowerPoint in a very easy and a quick way. So if you don't want to use any template which is related already built template, and you want to create your own template for your course, for your lecture, so you can use this piece of information and it will be very useful for you guys, inshallah. So let's move toward we will learn. I have a one tutorial that I will explain on step by step that how you will be able to make your animated infographic with the PowerPoint.
So the very first thing we're going to need to do is to build out our scene. And to do that, we're going to
Please make focus that we are going to make a one animated video infographic that and we use the tool that is a simple PowerPoint tool, and here is everything which is related to this video infographic. Everything is available with the PowerPoint. Nothing is a very hard and fast rule, so just focus and I will explain on every step. So first of all, you have to know the building out the scene. So let's see the first step, how we can build out the scene.
to need images that have some kind of transparency in them. So this could be PNG files or even vector files. And I'm going to be showing you how you can get these files. So if you're more of an advanced user, you can head to sites like freepik.com.
Okay, here is one option that is called the Freepik. This is a website where you can get any kind of the picture, which is just a vector picture or photos or PSD files or icons. So if you want to get it, you can get freely here, and very high resolution pictures if you want. And if you don't want to download from this Freepik website, you can use simply Google. So you just go there and you just write up there any picture name, for example picture of a doctor, and then you will be type the PNG and it will be appear all the PNG pictures which is represent in a very good high resolution, so you can just download and you can use. So this is one of the way, that is a freepik.com. You can go and search out your related pictures.
and search for these vector files. They would come in ESP format most of the times, and then you need a software that can read this. Adobe Illustrator is a great software.
If you want to download some of the picture which is from the free pick with the sum of format, that is a PSD format, you will be open it in a one. This is a dashboard of Illustrator. This is the one of the software which is used for designing and animation. But this is not only the solution that you use this Illustrator. Now in the next part, you will see you have another option and simple option. If you don't want to use this Illustrator software, so you can use the another options.
But if you're looking for a free alternative, there is also another software which is called Inkscape. It also does a good job at reading these files. I'm going to put a link in the description to both of these softwares. So if you're interested, you can head down there and download them. Now, if you're less of an advanced user or you're just not comfortable working with vector files, you can still get some of these images from within PowerPoint itself. What you want to do is go to Insert, then click on Pictures, and then click on
So here is the second option. What you can utilize that is just go to the insert, click on the pictures and select the online pictures, or you can also download it from the Google and you can select this device and you can just grab from your device. But if you want online pictures, so here is a one feature of a PowerPoint. You just search online from the PowerPoint. So how you can do it, let's see.
Online pictures, and while you're there, just search for whatever you're looking for and add the word illustration at the end of it. This should give you the cartoon style like images, and a number of these would actually have transparency in them. I'll go ahead and select 2 of these and insert them. And as you can see, this second one right here is an ambulance that has some transparency. I can move that around. You can also do the same by adding the word PNG, and most of the time this would bring pictures that have some transparency in them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create our very first scene here. In my case, I will be using vector files and Adobe Illustrator. So what I want to do is first of all create my background, and I'm just going to click on the background picture that I have right here and click on Control Copy. So I'm going to head over to PowerPoint and right click with my mouse and click on Format Background, and then the option that says Picture or Texture Fill. And then what you want to do is click on the clipboard. So that will paste whatever I have in the clipboard to set that as the background.
So this is the one option that you just copy a background from the Illustrator and just go to the PowerPoint and just click on the picture or texture fill and then click on the clipboard to paste your background which you already copied from the Illustrator. Now move toward the next option. What is the next simpler option for you, that how you can put the background?
And if you're not using Adobe Illustrator to do this, you can click on Insert and then click on Online Pictures. And then you can go ahead and just search for an illustrated hospital image and use that for your background. So next, I'll go ahead and copy each of our individual characters by doing Control C and then Control V in PowerPoint. Just paste them within PowerPoint, and I'll scale that to fit properly within the scene. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the exact same thing for each and every one of the characters that we have in that scene and scale them properly until they all fit well. So, and remember, if you're not doing this with Illustrator and vector files, you can simply just go to Insert on PowerPoint and click on Pictures and then Online Pictures, and then just search for pictures of a patient, for example, and just put the word PNG next to it, and you can insert that within your scene and follow along with this tutorial. So next we are getting to the fun part. We're going to start.
So this is how you just create a scene. Now the second one is how you will be create an animation. So all the data you have, all the picture, all the background you have, now it's time to create an animation. So let's move toward this step.
Animating our scene, and there are 3 ways I'm going to show you how to do this. The very first is the animation tab that you have right here, and it has several kinds of animation that you can use to bring your scene to life. The first is the entrance animation, and this sort of just controls when your character comes into the scene. We also have what is called an emphasis, and this doesn't bring the character into the scene, but it adds some movement while the character is already within your scene. Then we also have what is called an exit animation, and this simply takes the character out of the scene with some animation.
So we represent that how this character will be enter and how it will be the exit. So we use some of the animation. We have one tab on PowerPoint that is animation, and we can use different animations. We can use different animation to represent our animated video.
And then newer versions of PowerPoint also have something that's called a motion path. And this just gives
if you see here, here is all the options that for entrance, for exit, and the third one is that is the motion path. It will be show you the path of your motion. Please off your mic. It's distortion. I don't know. Hira, please, can you off your mic? Okay, let me mute it from here. Okay. So I was explaining that in the add animation, we have a different categories. That was the first one was the entrance. The second one is exit, how the character will be exit. And here is the motion path. So here is a different path you can select. Check how
the subject you have in the scene some path to move around. So the next type of animations we're going to be using today are transitions, and these move from one slide to another, and if used creatively you can do some nice effects like the one you see right here. Quite interesting.
So this is the option of transition. If you want to move any of the object, you just click on the transition and you can select the different styles of transition, so it will be look more effective.
And then finally, we are also going to be using 3D models. These also have some kind of animations attached to them. For example, if I use the bird that we have right here and add it to the scene, so you're going to see that it's already animated with flapping wings, which we can use to our advantage. All right, let's go ahead and add some animations to our scene. So I'm going to click on this object right here, and I'll go to animations so we can add some entrance animations. So again, there's some options already available right here. And if you don't like any of those, you can click on more entrance effects, and that will open up a whole lot more options. The key here when you're doing these kinds of animations is to kind of keep things simple. If you put too many animations and keep it busy, it's gonna look a little bit kind of shady. So I'm just gonna go for something simple like pick in. So they're gonna rise from the ground. Look at that, that's quite simple and clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the same for the second object in the scene. So if you want to see your animations, you click on animations pane right up here, and then it shows you all the animations that you have in your scene. And you can always click the play button to see what it looks like so far. So for our main subject, Ben, we're going to use two types of animation. I've added the float in, and then I'm going to do one more thing. I'll go to add animation, click on that, and then I'm going to add an emphasis. For example, we could use maybe the theta effect. So that way he comes up and then shakes his head to kind of say hi. So and here is what that looks like. It's looking pretty good so far. So for our final two characters, we're going to use motion paths for them. And you do that by going to add animation and then motion path. And I'm going to be using the left to right motion paths so they walk across the screen. So what I'm going to do next is go ahead and adjust the path. And to do that, you want to click right here where you see a little green line that adjusts where it starts from. And I'm going to move that to start just right from outside the screen. And then you're going to see a red dot on the other side, and this shows where it ends. And I'm going to drag this red dot all the way to the other side to make it so that they end just right almost at the end of the screen. All right, so let's take a look at what that looks like right now. So as you can see, they move from the left to right. So they are moving pretty fast, and that doesn't look so realistic, but no problem. We're going to fix that real quick. So you want to click on the effect itself, which is the last one we just added. Right click on it and go to timing. And then you're going to see where it has the different durations. So you can select any one of those. And if you don't like what it has there, you can put it in manually. But for now, I'm going to just use the 20 seconds. All right. So that is already looking much, much better. But we're going to fix one more issue. If you notice, they are walking behind the characters who are supposed to be behind them. And that's an easy fix. All you just need to do is right click and say bring to front, and voila, that is completely fixed. So sometimes you might want to control the way the animations happen, especially if you're using this for a video, and that's easy to do. What you just want to do is right click next to the animations on the timeline, and instead of happening on mouse click, just click for it to start with previous or after previous.
So these are the setting for that. If you want to present some of the animation with previous or after previous, then you will be not just mouse click and then anything will be happening. So as you start this one, it will be appear according to the just timing. Like one character will be appear with after the previous, or all the sequence will be very smooth, and no need to click mouse click and all these things.
What you're trying to do, and just go ahead and repeat the same process for all the animations on your timeline to make sure they're starting automatically and not when the mouse is clicked. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and add all the rest of the animations in this scene, and then I will create one more scene and animate all the elements on that one too, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use transitions from one slide to another slide. All right, so for my very first transition effect, I want the doctor character to morph into the next scene. So he's going to sort of transition into the next scene. And to do that, I'm going to be using something called the morph effect. So what I want to do is you want to make sure that you have an element that was in the first slide that is also in the second slide. So in my case, it's the doctor character. And then I'm going to go ahead in the second slide and just click for it to morph. So if you notice, it's not doing exactly what I expected to do just yet. That's because I still have an entrance animation on the doctor character. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that and press the morph effect one more time. And you can see the way that transitions into the next scene very beautifully. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create the two final scenes that we had from that intro video. And then I will use one of these to show you how to add 3D objects into your scenes. All right, so to do
now in this scene we will add the 3D object. For this you can also search online just by the PowerPoint. Just go to the insert and you will search the 3D 3D object, and you just insert it on it, and you just change the direction also. You will see now.
What you want to do is go to insert and then click on 3D models right here and click on stock 3D models. So this will give you some of the models that were already created by Microsoft. So I'm going to go ahead and click on animated animals, and then we'll select this little bug right here and insert that into the scene. And now you see you have a 3D model, and if you click and drag around, you can change the angle and rotate it in 3D space however you like. And we can add our animations to it like we do any other object. So I'm going to go ahead and do add animation and create a motion path animation. And I'm just going to do a diagonal movement, so we would have it fly across the screen just like that, and drag that to end somewhere outside, and there you go. All right, so finally I'm just going to go ahead and add some clip art text to our scene to complete the final scene. All right, next we're going to talk about sound design.
So now you just collect all the data. Now you create all the animation. This is a game of transition and animation, just two tabs. Use just two tabs. One tab is animation tab, and the second tab was transition tab, and you just create a one animated infographic or one animated video infographic, you can say. So now the third step is a sound design. So now we have a one background music, because this is a mostly recommended video infographic that is with just a background music and all the representation by the characters and some of the text. So let's move toward how we can add sound in it.
This is the icing on the cake when you're doing your videos. It adds that final missing thing that makes your videos exciting. And PowerPoint has a lot of options for this. So to add, let's say sound effect when our object comes up to the scene, what you want to do is go ahead and just click on the object. And then you want to right click on your effect panel. And then go to where it says effect options. And then where it says no sound, you can go ahead and just click on that and select. You can select one of these sounds if it applies to what you're trying to do. But in case you wanted to upload a custom sound, you just scroll down to the bottom and click on other sounds. And right here, I have a pop sound that will pop whenever the character plays. And we can always adjust the volume right here to the right. And that's what that sounds like. So I'll go ahead and repeat the same process for the other character. Okay. So when it comes to adding background sound to the scene, you go to Insert Media. And
so here the two sound, the one sound which is every character have a different sound on on their effects, and one is another sound that is a background sound. So now we are going to add the background sound.
Click on audio, and then we're going to do audio from my computer. And then I have some ambient.
You can simply download these kind of audios from Google just with the extension of MP3. So you just download and you can use.
Voice here that I already downloaded. So I will add that and just get that out of the scene so that this icon doesn't show. And then let's play that to hear what that sounds like. Okay, so that's what that sounds like. If you want to control the volume, there's a knob to the right here. You can just go ahead and just reduce and adjust the volume accordingly. So one thing is you can control when this music stops playing, and to do that you right click on it and say effect options, and then it says it should end. Right now I want it to end once we get out of this slide, so it ends after current slide. That is fine. With the background music, I'll show you how to make it play throughout all the slides. All right, so for our background music, I'm going to do the same thing, insert media and audio from my computer. So I have a background music here that I already downloaded from the internet. So again, I'll get that out of the slide and I will play that for you to hear what that sounds like. Alright, so to make it play throughout the video, we right click again and go to effect options. But this time around, instead of asking it to end after current slide, I'll say end after, and I'll just count. I have 4 slides, so end after the 4th slide is when I want the background music to stop playing, and PowerPoint will take care of the rest for you. Alright, now let's see what all of this sounds like. I don't know about you, but this is already looking pretty amazing. I'm sure you can impress a couple of people with a slide like that. Now, finally, let's talk about recording voiceover.
So now you already your one animated infographic which is with the background. So if you want to stop there, you can. But now this is the next option. If you want to add some voiceover, so now it's a time of recording with the voiceover. How we can do this?
If you wanted to do that using PowerPoint, that is quite simple. The first thing I'll advise you to do is go to your very first animation and click to start on mouse click. That's because this helps you with the timing of your recording, so it doesn't start when you're not ready. Then the next thing you want to do is go to slideshow and then click on record slideshow and then do record from the beginning. So that's going to open this window right here. You just want to make sure that your mic.
So if you see in this window, we have a one complete recording scenario. Here is the option of the record, stop, or replay if you want. And here is some notes. This is your screen. And if you want to put some of annotation, you can use this pen and you just mention and just record it. And you must make sure that here is a mic. So you must make it just on while you want to ready to record.
It's not muted right here, and then if just make sure you're selected also the right microphone from the option right here at the bottom. And once you've done all of that, you have to stay still, quiet, and hit the record button. Meet Ben, chief surgeon at his hospital. Ben has made it in life and has helped a lot of patients get well and feel better. And once you're done, you just have to hit the stop button to stop the recording. If you feel the need to start over, just click on this little X right here and then click on clear recordings, and that will give you the option to start all over again. And once you're done, you just X out of this and you are done with your awesome video. Finally, I'm going to show you how to export this as a video. You click.
So now this is the time how you will be save this video. This is all done. You just create animation, you just put all the background music, and now you just do some voiceover. So this is a complete piece of information is ready. So now it's the time to export this video infographic. So we will go toward the file and you will select the option of export
File, and then you click on export, and then you want to click on the option that says create video. So if you did this using narration, you just want to make sure that you select the use narration. And then once you're done with that, just give it an awesome name. And
so you just simply save this one, just export and go to the video or create video option and just give it the name, and you will be select the extension of MP4 and you will be save.
Click save, and congratulations, my friends, you have successfully.
So this is a very easy and interesting way how you can use your PowerPoint tool to present your animated infographic. So I hope you understand it well. If you didn't understand anything, you just repeat this recording and you will be see and you will be learn. So this is just an idea. This is just an idea. I give you just an idea. You can use these options, and this is your playground. Now you can use different animations, different effects, and you can make different things according to your target and according to your need.
Created.
So this is all about the animated infographic. Hope I explained well. So if there is any question, you can ask, please. And if you want to on your mic, you can on your mic. And one more thing, if you saw in this video, there is a one PowerPoint. This is Microsoft Office 365 PowerPoint. If you are worried about you don't have Microsoft 365 and you will be not able to use these features, so don't worry. With the university have a subscription of Microsoft 365. You can just log in with your university email and ID, and you can use the Microsoft Office 365 offline and also online, and you will be utilize all the features. Thank you so much. So now it's time to question. If you have any question, you can ask. If you want me to repeat anything, you can ask.